Hey y'all, this is Kinah with KinahIAm. Welcome back to my channel. Today this is going to be the first part of me setting up my mini happy planner for the fall, transitioning over. Yes, I'm a bit late. Life happened. So today I'm going to be creating pocket folders for my mini. I'm going to give you instructions, measurements, details of all the products that you need to create these at home. So again, video number one, if you're interested in seeing how to make these very easy pocket folders for your mini HP, stay tuned. Okay, so very quickly, let's talk about the two different types, because there are two different types of pocket folders that I'm going to talk about today in today's video. We have the short pocket, which as you can see, goes along just under half of the size of your pocket folder. It is double-sided, so there are pockets on both sides. I did round the corners off at the top. And then I have this third version, which is almost all the way, and it is one-sided. So you have that pocket here and just the decorative view there on the back. So your supplies, you will need a paper cutter, paper trimmer, boom boom. You'll need something to score your paper with. I got this from Michael's. It is the Martha Stewart line. I'll link it down below in the description. Excuse me. What else? You're gonna need a happy planner punch, of course. You'll also need a pencil. If you're going to round your corners like I do, you'll need that tool. And I also have these deco scissors that I'm going to be using, and I have a pair of regular scissors. So let's go ahead and get started. I pulled a few pieces of paper. Obviously, I've just used these here to make the last folder that I just showed you. So let's set these to the side. I have these fall. That actually looks like it'll be really pretty together, as well as what I do with the rest of the paper. Goodness gracious. Oh, there it is. As well as I pulled this one that could actually go with that wood print back there as well. And I pulled this pretty sunflower. So I think we'll do one sunflower, and we'll do those. So the first one we're going to do is this half pocket. So because these papers are not double-sided, and in case I haven't already said this, I did pick these up. These are loose papers from Hobby Lobby. We'll start with this one. Because these papers are not double-sided, you'll need to tape them together back to back so that you have this cohesive look. So go ahead and get your pencil out, because you'll want to write down these measurements for your happy planner. So the happy planner size is, I believe, 4.5 by 7. We're going to cut these just a tad bit bigger, and I'll explain why. In case they are not evenly matched, we want to make sure that we have room to trim off any white areas. It's hard to explain, but you'll see it later. You'll see what I mean towards the end of this video. So let's go. And you want to make sure you put this in the right orientation. So we have this way in the paper cutter, because this is the orientation we want our folder to be in. So we have the leaves up this way. We have our sunflowers up this way. So we'll put this, I have this on 4.5. I'll go to the line after that just to give me some breathing room. You want to make sure that you keep, matter of fact, let me cut these one by one. I don't have time. What I say, the line after 4.5. You want to make sure you're nice and even and trim. Then we want to cut this to 7. So let's bring this down. Get this right to 7 inches, and boom. So we'll do that again so that we have the back side of the folder. This is the 4.5 line. Let's move this up so you can see. We've got our 4.5 line. I'm going to put it here. And then we'll cut this at 7. So we have our front and back sides of our folder. So now we're going to cut our pocket pieces. What did I just do with it? Oh, I put it over here. Duh, Kinah. So for the pocket pieces, you want them to not come all the way across because you don't want your pocket to lay on top of your punches. Or if you do, that's fine too. I did not do it on this one, but I will do it on this one. I think I will do it on this one. Yes, we'll do that. So we have to cut this the same width of this, but we need to give ourselves another inch. Let me move this up, another inch, so that we can score it and fold it under. You'll see in just a minute. So again, this is, let's cut this. So we had it here. Here's our 4.5 line. We had it here. So we're just going to go to 5, 5.5. Actually, do we need, yes, we'll do it just to make sure we have the space. So we have 4.5, then we have it there. So let's go to 5.5 and we'll push it there. And then we don't need to cut it as tall as the rest of the folder because we're just going to cut it in half, right? So let's give it about, let's give it 5 inches so we have some room to cut. So we're going to turn this sideways, measure it to 5 inches. Make sure it's lining up. That's one, and then we need to do it again for the other side pocket. Get it to 5 inches, and that's the back pocket. So for right now, we can put this cutter aside. So before we go any further, we have our front and back pieces. Let's stick that to the side, and we have our 2 pocket pieces. So I think I like it better this way. Yes. So let's get our scoring board out. We have it here. Let's get our piece. So we'll make sure we have it on the right side, right orientation, facing up. But we're going to need to flip this over this way because those tabs need to fold in like that, right? So let's get this up here. And I'm going to give myself, like I said, 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go to 5. Actually, I'm going to go to this one right after this because I did cut it off a little bit. You don't want to push down too hard in this. You don't want to tear a hole in it. Flip this around and then do the same on the other side. To double check yourself now, you see our scoring in here, right? Fold this over where the scoring is on both sides. And to check and make sure this is going to fit, you put it up against here. So, as you can see, this is going to be perfect fit. Right? So then, before we do anything else, we need to put this back down here and we need to create a bottom scoring. We need to score it on the bottom so that it folds up under the bottom. Give yourself 1/2 inch. Don't push down too hard in this. You do not want to tear it. Fold the sides in first, then your bottom. You have your first pocket. We are not quite done with that, but we're going to put it to the side so that we can do our back pocket. Make sure the orientation is correct. We're doing the same exact thing that we did on the other side now. And then we need to give 1/2 inch for the bottom pocket. Uh-oh. Okay, now that we have that done, we're done with the scoring board, so let's move it aside for the moment. What we want to do next is we want to cut these squares out so that it's not creating extra bulk on the folder. So I'm going to grab my scissor here, and you want to cut right towards the edge of this notch. Right on the inside edge of the notch. Now, we do that because, like I said, it took out the bulk down here. So, let's get these folds nice and crisp. We're good to go. That's pocket 1. Now, let's cut out the corners here on this second one. All right. I forgot earlier in the video to mention that you will need either glue or double-sided tape. I am using the Tombow permanent adhesive tape. I'll link it down below in the description box in case you don't already have it. So what we're going to do before we start messing with those pockets is we're going to get our two sides glued together. Now, if you're using double-sided paper, you don't need to do this. This is an unnecessary step. But because I was too lazy to go looking for double-sided paper, I've probably got books and books of it somewhere. I didn't feel like it, and I know I probably don't have any fall. This is what we're doing here. It may seem like an extra step to some. It's not that big of a deal for me. So, make sure we have a right side up. So we're going to take our two halves and put them together as neatly and line them up the best we can. And here's why we gave ourselves a bit of extra room. Because from time to time, it doesn't matter how properly or expertly or evenly you cut it, you'll have that white edge there. Let's see. But we did pretty good. It's not too bad here. So you make sure you press down your edges. Everything's nice and stuck together. What we're going to do, instead of leaving this edge, this pocket edge, the way it is, I'm going to cut an angle on it. So, I'm going to get my cutter again. And I'm gonna, let's go ahead and pencil this in first. So, what I'm gonna do is fold these edges under. I'm going to line the top corner up with the 0 mark on the ruler, and that will determine the angle you put it on is the angle of your pocket. I don't want it that low cut. So I'm going to line that up with 0, and I'm going to pull this up to 5. I want the other side to meet 5, right? So there's my angle. On the other side, you want to make sure that the pocket is opposite, because it will be on the opposite side of the page. So again, it's the same exact measurement, same exact way you're doing it, but you just need to flip this around to the other side. Do it the other way. Okay. So okay, so we have our cut lines. We're just gonna, and yes, you want to cut the tabs underneath as well. So you'll lay it down all folded up and together. Line this up with the line you marked out and cut it. You have one pocket Bring this over here and just do the exact same on the other side. Line this up and cut it. Okay, so now we're ready to start putting this thing together. We'll take our front side. We don't want our pocket like this, right? Or do we? Yes, we do. Well, it's completely up to you. It's however your taste is. You can have your punch over here and your pocket goes to the edge like this. I would prefer it the other way. So that's how I'm going to do mine. So what you want to do is you want to open this all the way up. It's your double-sided tape. And you want to get just the tabs taped up. You don't want this to run over your score line because that's just going to create a sticky situation. A very sticky, messy situation for you that you don't have time for, right? So make sure you get your glue or your double-sided tape, whichever you're using, just on the tab part, right? Before you stick this down, you want to fold your side tabs over and your bottom tab up. Create your pocket before you put it down. Once you're here, you want to line this up because we know it fits perfectly. We've already tried it, right? We've tested it out. Then we're going to flip it over and we're going to do the exact same thing. Oh no, almost got me. Ah. So you want to get all your edges, make sure they are folded down, smoothed down pretty well. Now, look at what we did. We gave too much room on that front pocket. It's over the edge. Actually, I would prefer that way because it would give me more room in the pocket when it lifts up. So we'll keep it like that. All right, now I am going to put my punch here on this side. But first, actually, I'm going to punch it before I round off the top corners. So we're going to grab our Happy Planner punch. Okay, so my battery decided it was going to die right then and there, but we got our folder punched, as you can see. And now we have this. So we're going to take the We Are Memory Keepers corner punch, and I'm just going to corner off the top two corners with the 10mm side. And we have our finished double-sided Happy Planner mini pocket folder. So now we're going to move into the other version of this that I showed you. Let's clear this off. And we'll grab one sheet and what we'll use for our pocket. So we're going to cut this very similar to the first pocket folder. Nothing's going to change. We still want our sizing correct. So we're going to do, there we go, 4.5, and then we're going to jump to this line. Give us some space. And then I'm going to do that again on the same sheet so that we have the matching backside. And I'm going to open this up so we can cut this 7 inches tall. So we have our two sides, 7 inches tall. Why am I putting that away? And then we have our pocket. Now this one we are going to cut. We have 4.5. Yeah. Let's do it to 5 1/4. And then we don't really need it to 7, so I'm gonna cut it to 6 just to see what we're gonna do in terms of the height of this pocket. So we have our pocket. Now let's go ahead and score our pocket. So I want it to face this way up, so I'm going to do it like this. And if I need it 4, I'm going to give myself a 1/4 inch just to make sure we have enough room. So let's lightly fold that, get it measured up. So this one's a little bit shorter, which means if I'm gonna do it shorter, I don't want to do it shorter, so I'm gonna have to remeasure. Oops, I'm gonna have to remeasure this pocket. So put that to the side. Thank God we still have the other half of this paper. What did we do? We did 5 1/4, right? So let's do 5 1/2. 5 1/2 by 6. We're still doing the 1/4 inch. Oh, Jesus. Where are you going? And it is perfect. So I'm going to get my bottom scored up. Go ahead and get these taken care of. And I'm going to cut my notches in. Okay, now I'm going to use this decorative scissor in just a moment once I get my angle right, because you know what? I have another paper trimmer that allows me to cut on an angle. Now I don't have to worry about all of this. So let's do a 45-degree angle. This is not right. Am I doing this backwards? I sure am. I'm just doing it backwards, that's why. I want it down this way, so. You know what? It's not worth the headache. I don't have time to figure that out right now. I don't really need it to be perfect either, because I'm just gonna cut it with the deco scissors. So I have my deco scissors here, And I'm gonna cut across here and make sure, good gracious, that I catch the design so that it's cohesive. So we're going to fold this over, and then I want to make sure that that doesn't show. So all right, now we're ready to tape. So I'm going to tape my sides together. And we're going to make sure they're the right side up. We're going to tape them down together. And now we're ready to get our pocket down. So let's get our pocket flaps taped. We have our pocket ready, and we're just going to get this placed. Uh-oh. So we have our pocket taped down, and now we punch. I like how the design makes it look like the paper was torn. Let me get it lined up properly. Get it punched, and boom, we have our second pocket folder. Let's get these top corners rounded off. Finishing touches, y'all. So these are our pocket folders. We are getting our mini ready for the fall. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.